Hello. I suppose I've always painted, but for the last 31 years I've been a professional artist. I've taught groups of people in classes and individual work groups. I've contributed to 3 magazines. I've shown work with the Royal Society of Marine Artists and the Royal Institute of Oil Painters, and I've written 2 books. During that time I've prepared quite a number of short videos for tutorial purposes. I thought the time had come for me to share those with you on my YouTube channel, and that's why I've opened this channel. I hope you'll follow me, and I hope you'll enjoy the short video which follows, and keep an eye open for the next one. Thanks. In this video, we're going to look at some of the features involved in using photographs as reference material. I will in fact be demonstrating using oil paintings, but the same principles apply whatever medium you choose to use. In fact, many painters and all illustrators, I think, and designers use photography as a tool for designing and creating their works, but it's still thought of as cheating in some circles. Norman Rockwell, the famous American illustrator, experienced this when he was told off at a dinner by a fellow artist for using photographs, but he used them extensively. And the description of how he used photographs and how he created them is described in this excellent book. Here's a photograph from that book showing him using a very old-fashioned sort of, epidiascope, a projector of some kind, to draw one of the characters in his illustrations. David Hockney has written this very well-illustrated book on the use in history of optical devices by artists as a guide for creating their designs. This is an etching by Albrecht Dürer showing the very simplest way of using a sort of optical device. In fact, it's just a plate of glass on which the artist is drawing the person sitting in front of him. But soon the system became much more complex and interesting, really. With the invention of lenses and the improvement of their design, they soon became used in various devices like this. This is a camera obscura of quite a simple type, but you see a reflected image is being projected up onto a piece of paper from behind, and the very well-dressed artist is copying, filling in, drawing the image which he can see. For well over 100 years, there's been argument as to whether Vermeer used a device of this kind in his room to lay out his paintings. And this is an American gentleman who sought to prove that by setting up his own darkroom and painting an image which looks a bit like a Vermeer. And of course, over time came the invention of the camera with which we're more familiar. This, in fact, is an early model by Monsieur Daguerre, and one of his first customers was Monsieur Degas, who used it extensively for his paintings of ballet dancers and other subjects. Of course, he drew as well, but this was the means he had for capturing images of moving subjects. But I think that's enough messing around with history. Let's come to how photographs may be used these days for painting. The simplest method, of course, is to take a photographic print, like this one I have here of Roussillon, and paint straight from it, using it just as a guide for putting on the paint on the canvas. This is just straightforward a la prima painting. I've got the bare canvas and I'm covering it with, I think, a mixture of alizarin crimson possibly, or maybe cadmium red and orange, just dabbing it on, referring only briefly to the photograph at this stage because I want to get an atmospheric undercoat on the picture. And now you'll see I'm actually holding the photograph up in front of me, and a mixture on a small brush, I think of, it is alizarin crimson and possibly dark brown of some kind, burnt umber perhaps. I'm beginning to sketch out the picture using that small brush. I've now moved on a bit, and as you'll see, I put some sap green on the painting, finished the basic sketch, and most importantly, I'm now lifting out some of the base colour using an old vest, I think, that Paleview vest, and that's dipped in white spirit. So I'm lifting out highlights. So slowly the shape of the painting is coming together. So far, as you saw, I was using a small brush for the sketching, laying out of the picture, and now turn to a wider synthetic brush, and I think using a mixture of cobalt blue and white, maybe a touch of ultramarine in there. I'm just beginning to tap in the sky. Back to a small square brush with a lighter mixture of blue, using a smaller brush because I can draw more accurately with it. I'm just filling in the lower part of the sky to merge with the top. Skipping on now, you can see I'm pulling the painting together. This is a mixture of, that looks like sap green and ultramarine, which is my favourite dark for trees. Sometimes I put a bit of alizarin in it, using a medium-sized brush, I think, still a square-ended brush, just to sketch in. This is really basically a sketch painting derived from the photograph, I think. And perhaps about half an hour later, I've worked over the painting, tightened up some details. I like little touches of blue along the road in the middle of the picture on the left. It is basically a sketch based on the photograph, used as a recollection to me for being outside Roussillon on that particular day, about to go into town looking for coffee, that kind of thing. Just a quick look back now at the photograph I've been holding my hand and painting from, so you can compare the sketch with the original photograph. As you will see, the idea is that I have used it as aide-memoire, just as I might have prepared a sketch on site with coloured notes. It's that sort of simple use of the photograph. Well, that's the end of this first short video. Don't forget you can make comments on my on the YouTube channel if you want to, or look out for my next video by following me. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll speak to you soon.